don't wanna sound full of myself or rude, but you ain't looking at no other dudes, cause you love me. I'm sorry.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I think this is a long anticipated video, an actual update of why my hair fell out. I've done a TWA hair update, but this is a more of a why my hair fell out and TWA progress video. So I thought I would talk about what actually happened to my hair and why it happened and how I have overcome the current situation that I'm dealing with. I'm still getting to grips with my diagnosis, and it's just understanding how now my body works in terms of my hair and how to manage that on a day-to-day basis, because anything can trigger my condition. And I went to see a lovely trichologist called Teresa. I'll put her details below, Teresa Angela, and I'll put where you can find her. She's based in Fulham. She's a lovely trichologist. You know, she gave me really good insight into the condition that I have, which is alopecia areata. I was really shocked that I had alopecia. I never thought I would ever get alopecia because I had an abundance of hair. I've always had lots of hair on my head, and I've never had the need to actually cut it. I would get my hair trimmed, you know, 1 or 2 inches, but I've never got to the stage in my life where I've had to cut it. And if you click up here somewhere, you will see my video of how my hair, the story of how my hair fell out and how I was just totally confused and baffled as to why my hair was falling out. I went to see one of my mentors because I learned how to do natural hair care, so I understood a lot about hair. So I felt everything that I was doing was right and perfect for my hair. But you know, you're not an expert in everything. And I needed someone who was an expert in scalp condition. And so I went through like almost a year and a half until I went to Teresa Angela to figure out what was going on in my head. And that's when I got the diagnosis that of alopecia areata. So Teresa was really nice. She took samples of my hair, showed me my strands, because I was telling her like my hair will grow a certain length and stop breaking off. I was having patches, literally. I will show you never seen before images of how my scalp and head look like. I never wanted to share these, but on my blog I did, but like I guess on the wider range of YouTube I'm going to have to do it. So I'm going to insert here what my hair looked like. It was horrendous. I was just having patches, and I'll show you what my hair looked like the time that it started. And I had like a big patch in the middle of my head, and then it was growing on the sides to the point like I was like I couldn't keep my hair at any stage. I couldn't keep my hair. So when I first went to talk to my natural hair mentor, she couldn't see why my hair was falling out. She did say maybe it's a stress thing, and I was stressed at that time. I had moved over to look after my sister's youngest child, my niece, and I also had left work, and I've slowly started to realize that I am somebody who enjoys being active, being proactive, if it means having a full-time job, but doing a job that I love or enjoy, or something that keeps me occupied. I know a lot of you will be saying a child keeps you occupied. Yeah, they do keep you occupied to a certain extent, but what happens when she falls asleep? You know, I know people will be like, you can do other stuff, but you know, I've slowly realized that being a parent is such a stressful thing, and I appreciate all you parents out there that look after your kids full time. It's a hard job, like, you know, feeding them, changing them, hanging out with them, chasing them about. It's hard, and you know, on top of that, I had my own personal stress that affected me was affecting my body. Because I made my own wigs and styled my own hair, you know, I thought I was doing the best thing, but I wasn't really focusing on the problem, if anyone understands that. So like, even though I am a natural hairstylist, there are things that I saw, but I was trying to remedy and fix on my own. But I didn't think, oh, I needed to go see a specialist. I didn't think it was that deep. So I guess end of 2015, I noticed up this side of my hair, I was developing like a small patch of hair that wasn't growing. And I thought it was just, you know, maybe because I was pressing my hair as well during that time, so I'd blow dry and press my hair. So I typically thought that was just breakage because I've over processed my hair. And because I know my hair grows in abundance, I was just like, whatever. But as soon as I moved to my sister's place, that's when I started to see the really, really big differences in my hair. Like if I tried to do cane rows back or cornrows back, my hair wouldn't, there'll be places in the middle of my hair I couldn't like attach here to there, and I was like, so why is there a gap in my head? And I focused on wearing wigs and not putting pressure on my head and everything, and I thought everything was going well, and I started to realize that things weren't going well when my hair was aggressively itchy. I mean aggressively itchy. Like my older sister is the only one who can tell you that Connie was like scratching like no man's business or patting her head. It was so bad because I just didn't know what was causing the irritation to my scalp. So I started stripping back products, thinking that it was something that I had to stop using, and I would do that. I went to the doctors. The doctors did the most stupidest test on my head. They took literally a cotton bud and rubbed it on the patches that were missing, and I was like, really? So what exactly are you going to get from that? That's not going to tell you why there's a patch in the middle of my head. So I was given lots of products to try, and I'll list all the products that I've tried. Like Sunsil, you know, because doctors thought I had like a fungal infection on my hair. That alleviated things for a very short time, but my hair didn't grow. So this is when I went to see my natural hair mentor. That was Joy Fido, and I'll link her details below. She's an amazing like educator when it comes to natural hair care and what you should do in terms of looking after your hair and best maintaining natural protective hairstyles. So because I couldn't understand what was going on, and I've had healthy hair until that point in my life, I was like, okay, I need to go see somebody who knows slightly more than me. So I went over to see Joy, and Joy was so nice, and she was like, Connie, you've come with your hair prepared. You know, I literally had like done my hair, like my hair was going to be saved. I'm telling you, I'm going to put a picture here of my hair. It was not going to be saved. So, you know, she looked at my hair and she's like, you don't have, you don't have any signs of alopecia. You could be stressed. This could be stress related. And your hair or your diet is not well balanced and so forth. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try all these things. So she gave me a few products to try, and I'll list them here somewhere of the products that I tried to, I guess, re-energize my hair to grow and stop breaking. So what would happen is that my hair would grow and then reach a point and then grow a little bud and then grow, and then that little bud would then break. And I was having that all the time, and I was just like, I don't understand what is going on. So after doing a few months of Joy's regime, I was also looking up trichologists, especially black trichologists or people who specialize in women of color trichologists, because they would best know my hair than a Caucasian trichologist. Fair enough, they're all the same, but I feel like they would understand the hair texture, what happens, why things are happening to your hair, and what best products to use to maximize you know, your hair growth and hair potential. So I came across a lovely lady called Teresa Angela, and she's from Angola, and she's a trichologist based here in the UK, and she is in Fulham. I will list all her details below. I went to her, and you know, the first thing she said to me is, you need to stop wearing wigs. I was like, what? Wigs have saved most of my hair, or my hair journey. Wigs have been life to me. And then she's like, no, you have to stop wearing wigs because they affect your hairline. Even though I felt like my hairline was okay, most women who wear wigs or wear wigs with combs or anything, you will get some form of traction alopecia. And traction alopecia is basically where your hair starts to regress from your forehead or regress from your nape, which I kind of have at the back. I have traction alopecia at the back of my neck. She was like, yes, you need to stop wearing this, and you need to stop wearing wigs with the elastic bands and la la la. And I was looking at her like, wigs are life though. And at that time I was still not really confident and loving the fact that I had a TWA, and I didn't know what to do with my TWA, which made life even worse, because she was like, yes, you need to cut your hair again. And I was like, what? I just cut my hair. I'm cutting my hair consistently. Stop telling me to cut my hair. So it was a very good consultation, because she went through a lot of things. So in the consultation, she looked at my scalp and we talked about the issues that I was having. And she also did something that I found was very interesting, that she showed me my hair follicles under the microscope. So this is why I was telling you that I could, you know, she was showing me why my hair was breaking, because it was building all these little balls at the end, and then a new bit of hair would grow out of that, and then that would snap off, and it was just a never-ending cycle. So she was like, the best thing to do is to chop it, is to cut it. I really just didn't want to cut it, you know, but you know, at that time, you know, you just sing the song, cut it. So I didn't want to cut it. She has a lovely salon where she treats all her clients, and I did a treatment and I bought some products off her, which I think have worked wonders for my hair in terms of getting it back to where I feel my hair naturally was, in terms of growth, thickness. I feel like I'm on track. I'm still quite worried about some of the issues that cause my alopecia areata, which is stress. And she says a lot of people who work in stressful environments tend to get alopecia areata, or she believes it's a trigger. It's a natural trigger for it. And I noticed that when I started a new role in 2016, it was a very high pressured job. So I was consistently stressed. I worked long hours. And I started to notice that my hair was falling out there too. And it wasn't falling out to like a big extent, because my hair was already short. But I started to develop those patches, those, you know, they're not quite circular patches that, you know, people will relate alopecia to, where it gets bald. But the density of my hair became very thin and was kind of patchy. So I decided to go get a second opinion, and I went to the Belgrave Hair Institute, and I saw a black trichologist, and she was like, she thought my hair was in good health, and she said, it looks like your hair is struggling with moisture. And she thought the best thing for me to do is actually go to a doctor and see if I'm lacking in any vitamin deficiencies, which I soon found out that I lack in iron and I lack in vitamin D, to the point that I have to take vitamin D tablets. Man, I'm African. I come from a hot country. What do I need vitamin D for? But apparently I need vitamin D because in the UK we don't get 15 minutes of sun a day. which is what is the recommended amount of sun a human being is supposed to get on a day-to-day basis. So I slowly started to discover, going to these two different trichologists, what was going on with my hair. And at the second trichologist, they were the ones who picked up my traction alopecia at the back because of the wigs. And she was like, you know, your problem that you have at the moment is something treatable. But I wasn't about to spend £799 in the Belgravia Hair Institute for hair loss. Nope. I wasn't about to spend that kind of money. Even though I know my hair is in perfectly good condition, the places that are not affected, I was not about to spend that money. So I was happy to stay with Teresa at the Fulham Scalp Clinic because her treatments are cheaper. They range between £70 and £100 or more, and you need at least 3 in-salon treatments, and then you can use all the products at home. And I use her products at home, and I have seen a difference. You know, when a doctor prescribes the right prescription for you and life is just good. I mean, I talked about how itchy my scalp is. Anytime I get like a crazy itch, Angela gave me this calming cream. Oh my gosh, I will insert an image here. This calming cream that just stops it. Like, I was like, what? There's no itch anymore. And I think once we women of color understand what is going on in our head, or on our head and our hair textures and our scalps and so forth, and we go to the right people who understand the issues that we face, finding treatments to fix certain solutions. Like for me, like severe itchy scalp syndrome, I don't have the severity that I had like 2 years ago. Like occasionally I get an itch here and there, but you know, she's given me all the products, and her products last a really long time. I think the products that I bought, like I bought about 6 or 7 products, and they cost like all in all like almost £100. But I'm telling you, these products last a really long time. The shampoos, I'm addicted to all the products, because if I ever feel something wrong with my hair, I have a product that will deal with it. It doesn't fix it, it deals with it to the point that I can sit down and say, what did I eat that day? What did I do that day? How did I feel that day? To assess what is causing the severe itchiness or the dryness. So I thought this video would be something to share with people out there who have any form of alopecia, because a lot of people think alopecia is just a person with no hair. There's lots of people in the world who have alopecia, like my version, alopecia areata, where, you know, your hair just falls out in patches and takes a little bit longer to grow. But, you know, here's evidence that, you know, even if you suffer from, you know, alopecia, if you find the right caregivers, you can grow your hair back. You know, if you find the right products, tools, services that can support you through the journey of regrowth, you'll be fine. And the thing that I would say to anybody going through alopecia is that it's hard to say don't be afraid of cutting your hair, because every girl's hair is, you know, their life. It is literally life, even though we wear wigs. Just cut it, and don't be afraid to cut it consistently. What has worked for me, in my honest opinion, has been cutting my hair on a consistent basis. So every couple of months I will do a proper trim down of my hair. Of late now, I'm trying to do more of a Mohican style, where I really shave down the sides, because this is where I started to see breakage. But right now I don't see any breakage. You can check out my video where I styled my TWA, which is here, and you'll see at the back, you can see that my hair is a little bit thin at the back there, and that's something that I want to get checked out. But don't be afraid to cut your hair. You know, get used to or find styles that work for you. So before I went on my I think, second chop of my hair, I decided to find a hairstyle that suits me. Whereas the first time I just got my hair completely leveled. And I think the best way for you to be putting the best confident foot forward when you rock your first TWA in terms of having a condition with your scalp is to find a style that suits you and cut the hair that needs to be cut. I know a lot of people say cut all of your hair, but if, like for me, this part of my hair has never had any issues. It's always been thick, it's always been long, it only just gets itchy. But the sides, the back, the middle of my scalp, those are places that I've noticed that I've had issues where the hair can be really fine, it can break, becomes slightly more itchier than any part of my head. So those are places that I'm like, okay, if I'm feeling like something's up, those are the first places I go cut. And when you cut those areas that are affected or you feel are troublesome to you, you can then focus on the care for those areas. And I think that's what's helped me, is that I know the areas where I have the patches and the issues. And I'll insert the picture again so you guys can see. And this is where I focus all the products and the care that I've been given by Teresa at the Fulham Clinic, because once you start to focus on those areas, you'll start to see how your hair is affected by each product and what works best and what area needs what on certain days or certain times. Because for me, I've noticed, like of late, this side of my hair or head gets so dry. I don't know why, but you know, it's been slightly drier to the point where I feel like I need to moisturize it a bit more. And when I mean moisturize, it doesn't mean lather it with product, but like spray it with a bit more water, let it sit with a bit more water, let it be hydrated a bit more. And that also could be the fact that I'm not drinking enough water on a day-to-day basis. So there's lots of things that affect your hair. And I just wanted to share my journey with alopecia. And it's not, I'm not trying to say my alopecia is not as bad as anyone else's, because to the level that it got to was tough for me, was like a bit scary. I felt, how am I going to be attractive to the opposite sex if I have no hair on my head? And it took me a long time to, you soon realize that you're probably not as confident as you think you are, because you know, you think you have everything that makes you you. And then I realized that my hair doesn't make me. It really doesn't. It's actually an accessory. It's an accessory. It just frames my face differently, makes me look like girl A, and then girl B another day, and then girl C and D, and you know, it just looks different. So my goal for the rest of the year is to grow my hair to the longest it can go without it getting patchy or breaky. So yes, I hope you found this video informative, and I will put all the information below of videos where I've talked about, you know, the problems that I've had with my hair. But this is, I guess, a more positive look on my hair and how I feel, and now I can move forward in my life knowing that I have a condition, but that condition doesn't define the way my hair looks. I can now define how my hair looks and then just support my hair based on the products and services that are available to deal with the condition. So this has been like a really personal thing to me. Not a lot of friends and family know that I have alopecia areata. I think it's only in this year that I've told a few people that this is the condition that I've been diagnosed with. And you know, I don't want anyone to feel pity for me because my hair is growing. You know, I have to keep my stress levels as low as possible and keep as happy as possible, because you know, happy soul equals happy mind equals happy body equals happy life. And if you're stressed or focusing on negative stuff, it affects your body in nasty ways. So anyway, guys, I don't want to ramble too much because I could go on for days. But I hope you like this video. It's been a very personal thing to share because I don't share very personal things about myself. But yes, I would love to hear from anyone who suffers from any forms of alopecia and how you're dealing with it, and what are your favorite products to manage your condition, and what are your actual, I guess, protective styles, because there's people out there with alopecia who wear protective styles, and I'm not saying wigs, but actual styles, because you know, you can do so much more with your hair even if you have this condition. But I would love to hear, if you comment in the comment section below, let me know your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences, the products you've used. If you know anyone else who suffers from alopecia and you feel this video will help them and enlighten them and encourage them to just go forth and seek treatment, cut their hair, hey, just cut it, you know, cut it. Do comment below and send me messages and share my video, and I will see you in my next video. I think I've rambled enough, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video, guys. Take care. Bye.
Tell me, what's the difference between you and me? We're one and the same, the way we're meant to be. I feel your smile against mine. Oh, you're making me so high I could cry.